Although he was president for less than 3 years, John F. Kennedy appointed 2 men to the Supreme Court of the United States, Byron White and Arthur Goldberg, given the advanced age of Associate Justice Felix Frankfurter at the time of Kennedy's inauguration. Speculation abounded over potential Kennedy nominations to the Supreme Court from the start of his presidency. Byron White nomination. Associate Justice Charles Evans Whitaker retired from the Supreme Court in March 1962 after just over 5 years on the court, citing exhaustion from the workload. The Whitaker retirement gave Kennedy his first vacancy on the Supreme Court. 2 names initially came up as potential nominees: Judge William H. Hasty of the United States Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit and Harvard Law School professor Paul A. Freund. United States Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy had recommended Hasty, who would have become the first African American on the Supreme Court. Robert F. Kennedy said, "It would mean so much overseas that we had a Negro on the Supreme Court." Quote, however, Hasty was opposed by Chief Justice Earl Warren, who balked because he's not a liberal and he'll be opposed to all measures we are interested in, and he would be completely unsatisfactory. Associate Justice William O. Douglas also objected to Hasty as the nominee. In addition, President Kennedy's advisor, Ted Sorensen, opposed Hasty because Kennedy was in the process of considering another African American, Robert C. Weaver, for a cabinet post. Sorensen argued that the first appointment should be one hailed by all for his judicial mien. Sorensen recommended Freund as the nominee. However, President Kennedy objected to Freund as the nominee because of Freund's Harvard pedigree, given that there already were a significant number of people connected to Harvard University in the Kennedy administration. Ultimately, Kennedy selected White, who was a longtime supporter of his and who had been serving as United States Deputy Attorney General. Kennedy formally nominated White to the Supreme Court on April 3, 1962. White was confirmed by the United States Senate just 8 days later, on April 11, 1962, in a voice vote. Arthur Goldberg nomination. After suffering a stroke, Associate Justice Felix Frankfurter retired from the Supreme Court on August 28, 1962, at the age of 79. There is not much evidence that Kennedy considered any other candidate other than Goldberg for the vacancy. It had been widely reported that Frankfurter's seat was considered a Jewish seat on the Supreme Court, meaning that the president felt significant pressure to appoint a Jew to replace Frankfurter. Kennedy nominated Goldberg, who at the time was United States Secretary of Labor, on August 31, 1962. The United States Senate confirmed Goldberg in a voice vote on September 25, 1962. Names mentioned. Following is a list of individuals who were mentioned in various news accounts and books as having been considered by Kennedy for a Supreme Court appointment. United States Courts of Appeals, Court of Appeals for the Third Circuit, William H. Hasty. Administration officials, Arthur Goldberg, United States Secretary of Labor. Byron White, United States Deputy Attorney General. Other backgrounds: Paul A. Freund, Professor, Harvard Law School.